Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Jared here. Want to cover a little bit different topic today, specifically because it's gorgeous outside, but want to talk about golf. So not golf necessarily in the aspect of how to improve your score, but more importantly, how to improve your score based on keeping your body in good shape. So, when you think about practice of any sport, so frequently we practice the action, like you practice the golf swing or you practice shooting the basketball. But the reality is there's a lot more to it. And specifically with golf, it's a sport that you can play well into older retirement age. And so I'm going to spend the next 3 days covering 3 areas that you can work on your body to make sure that not only do you have health, but it should improve your golf swing or golf score. So over the next 3 days, we're going to cover shoulder mobility, thoracic mobility or trunk mobility, and hip mobility. And the reason is golf certainly is a sport where it's not necessarily how strong you are, it's how much club head speed and how accurate you are. And most of that comes from the flexibility in your body to be able to do that. That's why you see on the PGA Tour, Tiger Woods was considered overweight when he was 185 pounds. And to me, at his size, that would in general be would be lighter than most other sports. So here's the point. So we're going to start with shoulders. With your shoulders, you should be able to take your hands, your palms, put them backward, and go straight up over your head. Another thing that happens for so many people is their pecs get too tight. This is how people have pain in their shoulder, rotator cuff tightness. But ultimately, when you go to take a golf swing and you go to torque, when you see those guys get 180 degrees or 90 degrees from where they started, they're turning their shoulders, but that's happening from shoulder turn, thoracic turn, and hip turn. So here's a few things that you should have assessed. First of all, if you can't do this, there's a problem and you probably need to get them adjusted. You need to start receiving chiropractic adjustments, get the mobility back so that you can even really perform a lot of these exercises. But additionally, for so many people, too tight in the front, too weak in the back. So I'm going to go over just a few basic things that you don't need any weights for. Number one, if you're trying to work on getting your shoulders back so they can be more mobile, you want to pull your shoulder blades back. So the way that you do that is you can bring your hands up, you pull your elbows back like you're trying to basically hit the back of your butt, and then you pull your hands back. And you're going to engage. You want to have these muscles be relaxed, your trap muscles be relaxed, but the rest of it you want to have them really pulled back, and you want to be able to hold this ideally for 1 to 2 minutes at a time. You want to do about 2 minutes a day. Additionally, we call this a reverse fly. So whether you're standing or bent over at the waist, you're going to take either your hands or your weights and you're going to pull, and the same thing, you're going to engage your shoulder blades. You should feel all the muscles on the bottom half of your shoulder blade pulling back. And what that's going to do is that's going to set your shoulders in a more neutral position so they're not so tight or already closed. Additionally, you can take one arm and do the same engagement, or you can put your hand in a door and stretch this so you open everything up on the front part of your chest. The last thing is a bent over row where you take a weight, if you do have weights or if you're at the gym, and you pull it back. So you're going to bend over and you're going to pull this back. But everything for opening up your shoulders from a strength perspective is going to be pulling your shoulder blades back and opening up your chest muscles, because that's going to allow you to turn much better on a golf ball or on a baseball bat or whatever sport you like to play. But it's also important for reducing things like tendonitis and shoulder impingement, which can lead to the damage and the need for surgery or shots or stem cells or any of that kind of stuff in the future, because it's not taking care of the alignment of the joint. So today's about shoulders. You want to be able to do this. So if you can do that, great. If you can't move your shoulders like that, you probably need to get them adjusted, and then do exercises that increase shoulder mobility. In Tom Brady's book, they talk about if you're 40 or over, you want to be spending 80% of your muscular workout on mobility more than strength, about 20% strength, about 80% mobility, where if you're 20 years old, you want to spend about 20% on mobility and 80% on strength. And one last thing to consider for those of you that are amateur golfers like me, professionals spend a huge amount of time on mobility, hours and hours a week to be able to turn the way that they do. So it's not necessarily just genetic, it's practice and it's focus. So improve your golf score, improve your ability to play, improve the length of time you can play by maintaining good quality structural health through chiropractic care, as well as working on the musculature and the joints in your body. Take care. Have a blessed day.